going on, Jerome's? We are so back. We were so back. Also, I feel like crew sweatshirts are back. It used to be all about the hoodie, except I'm like easing back in. Also easing in is Kevin O'Connell, Victory Monday press conference. No hat. I feel like he is in breach of contract with society that he is not modeling the hat. Also, with the puffy vest, he looks like every business dude in the great state of Minnesota at his kid's softball game. It happens. Anyways, but, I guess softball's not a winter sport. Doesn't matter. Anyways, Kevin O'Connell fed the local media jackals on Monday after the Vikings' stunning and brave 12-7 win over the Jaguars. Hey, a win is a win. I ain't mad about it, man. Plus, there's a lot to clean up. But overall, this team played some good ball. But like I said, and like Kevin O'Connell said, there's a lot to clean up. So some stuff and some things and some things, some stuff. Score more points. Take care of the football, right? So he lauded the team's efforts, especially the defense and special teams. Gave a special shout out to the new guys, John Parker Romo, McQuaid as well. And, he talked about how learning while winning is great. Plus, it was obviously very good to stop the 2-game skid that the Vikings had against the Lions and the Rams with a little mini streak of their own. Hopefully, they'll extend it on Sunday in Nashville against the Tennessee Titans. And respect the Titans. They're a tough physical football team. Their defense is pretty solid. They want to run the ball. Levis, he didn't say this, but Levis is very highly variant. But it's going to be a big-time test, and it's certainly not a gimme. And it's also funny, too. So the media jackals are hung up on, this team has never won a game since 2010, 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, blah, blah, blah. But he was asked straight up, hey, have you ever won a game without scoring a touchdown? He's like, yeah, last year in Vegas against the Raiders, the Vikings 3-0 win where they covered the 2.5-point spread, by the way. Yeah. Also, you talked about how Aaron Jones, who left the game for a skosh on Sunday with that chest injury, was in the building today in good spirits. Like we said, he did return to the game at the end for the final 2 drives. Could be limited this week, but very hopeful and very optimistic that he'll be good to go on Sunday. Also, props to Cam Akers and Ty Chandler, some tough physical runs as well. So give them the ball more so we don't put so much pressure on Aaron Jones. Problem. Plus, big shout out to tight end Josh Oliver, TJ Hawkinson, impactful in all phases. Josh Oliver's had a career stretch in the last couple of games, and Hawkinson proven why he's one of the best, if not the best, tight ends in the National Football League. Vikings running a lot of 12 personnel. You love to see it. And with Darnold, of course, the elefante in the room, they went back and took a look at the tape, and so I like that O'Connell, former quarterback, former offensive coordinator himself, like he obviously could be just like dialed in one-on-one with Sam Darnold, but he lets Josh McCown, quarterbacks coach, he lets Grant Udinsky, assistant quarterbacks coach, work with their guy, right? And he'll bop in and they meet every week, but he doesn't micromanage just because that's his specialty, right? And I think that is a maturity, and I think that is the correct way to, you hire good people and let them work. And something that the Wolves have done for years. I think Kevin O'Connell takes that as well. And, in McCown and Udinsky, they're going to be studs in this coaching profession in their own right here very soon. But if they thought that Kevin O'Connell was basically trying to do their job for them, maybe they wouldn't have that agency, right? But Darnold, it's footwork, it's eye discipline, it's the little details, right? And it is partly just getting dialed in on Justin Jefferson and putting that emphasis on getting the ball to 18. But there's some sloppiness there as well. But working to improve as well as learning while you're winning, as O'Connell said in the beginning, it's great. And Sam will rebound, will continue to improve. And on the rewatch of the game, outside of those 3 snaps and also the Addison interception that got called back, Darnold was pretty good. And the offense was moving pretty easily, mainly because the Jaguars were playing 90% cover 2 shell, and everything was open underneath, and they were moving, and it is what it is. Also, talking about stacking runs, efficiency, putting the ball in play, taking what's there, and for the most part, like Darnold did do that, right? And the Jaguars, like we said, played a lot of cover 2, and they were determined not to allow the big play, which has been a big part of the Vikings offense. And you could say that that's the blueprint, because the Colts did a lot of cover 2 as well, and also were mobbing up on Jefferson. But that leaves the rest of the defense exposed, as evidenced by the Vikings' efficiency running the ball as well as underneath. Right. Also, Hawkinson, such a game changer because O'Connell got into a bit of the minutia where Hockenson is essentially a great counterbalance to Justin Jefferson, where if a defense looks to take away Jefferson, whether it's bracketing him, doubling him, cover two, that opens things up a lot for what Hockenson does underneath in the middle of the field. Also, talked about confidence in John Parker Romo, as well as McQuaid, the new long snapper. And it's a tough situation that Romo came into, but I feel like Will Reichard's injury is a lot more serious than people are leading on to, because when O'Connell talks about missing Reichard for a while, like you could tell, like from his tone, it could be a bit. It might be more than just the 4 games that he's required to miss on short-term IR, but I guess we'll see. He talked about healthy defense, giving a little bit of a charge of life, and also he got into how it's great that players can be versatile and play multiple spots, but you want the player to play in his spot, where it's great that AVG and Josh Metellus can play off-ball linebacker, but you don't necessarily want them there all the time. Now, the flexibility gives you great diversity of looks, especially on third down, where a lot of guys can flip up responsibilities, and it's very confusing for the offense, but you don't want them in those spots full time. So having Cashman and Pace in their normal off-ball spots in the middle, AVG out on the edge, Metellus doing Metellus things, that's what you want. And it's great to have the Vikings defense, quote unquote, back at full strength, which is true. Also, Cam Robinson. So Cam Robinson had a tough game, but he was fired up, happy with the win. Maybe things got a little bit chippy there against his former teammates. You could tell, like, there used to be bad blood, and now they don't have mad love. They just don't. But hopefully Robinson will settle down. He had a great game against the Colts. Hopefully he can get back to good with a little bit more time with this offense as well. Plus, he talked about how there's no frustration with Justin friggin' Jefferson, where, the 3 interceptions were bad, and all 3 of them were directed at him inside of the Jaguars' 30, which is unacceptable. But, the Jaguars, he didn't say it as like a detriment, but O'Connell definitely inferred that the Jaguars basically just sold out to stop 18, and it opened things up for everyone else. And that's what they did. It was a good strategy in that it kept the game close, and the Vikings and Darnold served up a couple of meatballs, and it was a single-score game, and the Jaguars had the ball at the end with a chance to win. And that's all that you can ask for in a situation like that. So they sold out to stop 18. It worked to a degree because they got the turnovers. Jefferson still put up some numbers, but they didn't give up the huge play. They gave up lots of things underneath, and sometimes O'Connell and Darnold have to be happy just taking that. And then guess what? Teams will get pissed off about nickel and diamond every single down. All of a sudden, they'll play cover 1. They'll play cover 0. They'll cover Jefferson one-on-one. All of a sudden, woo, yum time. So, Kyle talks about how Darnold can't get frustrated. Jefferson's obviously not frustrated. He can't get frustrated either. That's it. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Head coach Kevin O'Connell feeding the local media jackals on a Monday. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, his thoughts, comment section, everyone's thoughts. You guys know what to do. Skol, production value.